So you just started making your new character and you notice they're an occult caster, and you have no idea which cantrips to pick. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my top 5 occult cantrips from Pathfinder 2nd edition. Hey everyone, welcome back to Holistic Homebrew. I know trying to decide on what spells to pick is extremely daunting, especially in Pathfinder 2nd edition. Hopefully today's video will make that process a lot easier for you. Now there's a few cantrips that I left out of today's video, such as Detect Magic or Light, because I plan on making another video later on that goes over the most common cantrips that every tradition can cast. But before we jump into it, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more Pathfinder content. Now let's get rolling. Starting with number 5, we have Telekinetic Hand. This is a 2-action cantrip with a range of 30 feet that targets one unattended object with light bulk or less with a duration of sustained. So put simply, this is Pathfinder's version of Mage Hand. You create a floating magical hand, whether it's ghost-like or invisible, and it can move an object up to 20 feet slowly. At 3rd level, this gets heightened to where you can target one unattended object with 1 bulk or less. At 5th level, this gets heightened to where you can increase the range to 60 feet, and you can target one unattended object with 1 bulk or less. And lastly, at 7th level, this gets heightened to where you increase the range to 60 feet as well, and you can target one unattended object of 2 bulk or less. Just like in D&D, this cantrip is extremely useful. You can use it to disarm traps, or you can use it to mess with the party. The possibilities are endless. However, this cantrip is only available to arcane and occult casters. Moving on to number 4, we have Telekinetic Projectile. This is a 2-action cantrip with a range of 30 feet that targets one creature. You can hurl an unattended object with 1 bulk or less. You make a spell attack roll against the target's AC. If you hit, you deal 2d6 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, depending on the object that you hurled. This cantrip can be heightened +1 to increase the damage by 1d6. And of course, if you critically succeed, you deal double damage. However, this cantrip is only available to arcane and occult casters. Moving on to number 3, we have Shield. This is a single action cantrip with a duration of until the start of your next turn. With this cantrip, you raise a magical shield. This does count as a raise a shield action, which grants you a +1 circumstance bonus to your AC until the start of your next turn, but it does not require any hands to use this. While this spell is in effect, you can use the shield block reaction with this shield. This shield has a hardness of 5. By using this reaction, you reduce any damage dealt to you by the hardness of that shield. After you use shield block, the spell ends and you can't cast this spell again for 10 minutes. This cantrip can be heightened +2 to increase the hardness by 5. Now this cantrip is only available to arcane, divine, and occult casters. Moving on to number 2, we have Eat Fire. This is a reaction cantrip that triggers when you take fire damage, and the duration is until the end of your next turn. You consume and ingest fire, making it less harmful to you. This cantrip grants you resistance 5 to fire damage until the end of the current turn. During the remaining duration of the spell, you can use the belch smoke action. The spell ends if you fall unconscious, inhale, or exhale, which includes speaking. Belch smoke is a single action where you create a smoke cloud with a 5-foot burst within 20 feet. All creatures within the smoke cloud are concealed, and all other creatures are concealed to them. The smoke cloud lasts for 1 minute or until a strong wind disperses it. This cantrip can be heightened +3 to increase the resistance by 5. I think this cantrip is amazing. The amount of times I dealt with fire damage in Pathfinder 2nd edition is insane. This could potentially save characters from dying. Also, you can create a smoke cloud which conceals the character. The best part about this cantrip, it is available to arcane, occult, and primal casters. And lastly, moving on to number 1, we have Phase Bolt. This is a 2-action cantrip with a range of 30 feet that targets one creature. You make a ranged spell attack roll against the target's AC. If the target has any circumstance bonus to AC, such as shield or cover, reduce that bonus by 2 for this attack. On a success, you deal 3d4 piercing damage, and on a critical success, you double the damage. This cantrip can be heightened +1 to increase the damage by 1d4. I know I put this cantrip in the arcane list as well, however, this is an insane cantrip. It's nice because you can deal a good amount of damage, and you can also reduce the circumstance bonus to the target's AC, which is nice. And this cantrip can be heightened to deal pretty good damage. However, the only part I don't like about it is this cantrip is only available to arcane and occult casters. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed my top 5 occult cantrips from Pathfinder 2nd edition. If y'all enjoyed this, go ahead and give me some likes. And if you want to see more Pathfinder content in the future, go ahead and subscribe. And make sure to leave a comment of your favorite cantrip or one that you think should have made the list. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, whether in game or in life, keep on rolling.